So when I say AI in 2025, what's the first thing you think of? Probably chatbots writing poems, right? Or maybe those incredible apps that create art from just a few words. And look, you're not wrong, but that is barely half the story. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a totally different and frankly much more powerful kind of AI. It's one that's already making huge decisions in the world all around you, and you probably don't even know it's there.
See, you've got creative AI on one side. That's the stuff we all know and play with. But on the other side, you've got something called decision AI. Now this is a whole different beast. It's the invisible engine working behind the scenes for massive companies making autonomous choices. Things like product pricing, supply chains, marketing budgets. It's not writing a song, it's deciding how much you're going to pay for your next gadget. And in this explainer, we're focusing on one of the most powerful decision AIs out there, a platform that is influencing brands you see and buy from every single day. I mean, really think about it for a second. Have you ever put something in your online shopping cart, gone back the next day and the prices just shifted? Or have you ever noticed that your local store somehow never runs out of your favorite snack? The answer, more and more, isn't some person in a back room crunching numbers. It's a seriously sophisticated AI making a calculated prediction. The name of this platform is Arena, but, and this is a big but, if you do a quick search, you're going to run into a problem. There are a few different arenas out there. So before we go any further, let's clear the air and figure out exactly which one is pulling all these strings.
Okay, this is where we have to be super specific. As you can see here, you've got the chatbot Arena for rating different models. There's AI Arena, which is a game, but our focus is right here, on the bottom, the Arena Enterprise Platform. This is the industrial strength tool that's being used to make major business decisions.
So what is it? Well, to put it simply, Arena is an American AI platform that doesn't just analyze past data. No, it goes way beyond that. It builds a complete virtual simulation, think of it like a digital copy, of a real-world market. And it does this to help massive companies make smarter, faster, and, yeah, way more profitable decisions.
And we're not talking about small businesses here. We are talking about Fortune 500 brands, household names like Sony and Domino's Pizza. The people using this aren't your everyday content creators. They are data scientists, supply chain managers, and chief revenue officers, and they're all using this to get a serious competitive edge.
So this brings us to the really cool part, how it actually works. See, most AI looks at what happened in the past, last year's sales for example, to guess what might happen next. Arena takes a completely different approach. It simulates countless possible futures to find the absolute best path forward. The secret sauce here is this idea of a digital twin. Arena literally creates a virtual copy of a company's entire market. But then, and this is wild, it populates that virtual world with millions of AI agents that are programmed to behave just like real customers, you and me. It's basically a massive, incredibly complex video game of our own economy. So how does this all work in practice? Well, it really breaks down into 3 key steps. First, it plugs into all of a company's data, everything from Shopify, SAP, you name it. Second, it runs millions of what-if scenarios inside that digital twin. What if a competitor cuts their price by 10%? What if a major shipping lane gets blocked? And finally, it generates an outcome. That could be a suggestion for a human to review, or it could be an action it takes all by itself. Okay, so once the AI has run all these millions of simulations, how does a company actually use these incredibly powerful predictions? Well, they've got 2 main ways to play it. In manual mode, the AI is basically a super smart advisor. It gives you a dashboard with suggestions like, hey, you should raise the price of this product by 4%. And then a human makes the final call. But then there's autonomous mode. And this, right here, is the real game changer. This is where the company gives the AI permission to act on its own, to automatically change prices on a website or order more inventory, all without any human needing to click approve. Now, as you can probably imagine, a tool this powerful isn't exactly cheap. You can't just sign up for a free trial. We are talking about serious enterprise contracts that typically start at over $100,000 a year, and they can easily go into the millions. This is a very high-stakes, very exclusive platform. And that, of course, brings up a massive question. When you give an AI this much autonomous control over a multi-billion-dollar business, what could possibly go wrong? And maybe more importantly, how do you even begin to manage those risks? Let's start with the most obvious and terrifying danger, financial loss. Just imagine for a second, an autonomous pricing bot going haywire. In theory, it could cause catastrophic damage in just a matter of minutes.
So the nightmare scenario is a runaway bot that decides to set a product's price to, say, 1 cent and sells out the entire company's inventory before anyone notices. The solution, while it sounds simple, is incredibly effective. Human-set guardrails. Managers basically define a safe zone, a minimum and maximum price, and the AI is literally programmed so it cannot make a decision outside of those boundaries.
Okay, on to the next risk. To make these accurate predictions, companies have to feed Arena their crown jewels. We're talking data on profit margins, customer lists, even future product launches. So, what's stopping all that secret data from leaking?
The risk, plain and simple, is corporate espionage. The guardrail against it is twofold, as you see here. First, Arena uses something called SOC2 Type 2 compliance, which is basically the gold standard for data security in the tech world. They also silo the data. That just means one company's information is completely walled off and is never used to train the AI to help another client. And finally, there's a much more subtle but very, very serious risk. In its endless quest to optimize for profit, could an AI accidentally start setting prices based on things like demographics or location in a way that actually breaks consumer protection laws? So the danger here is accidental, illegal price discrimination. The guardrail is also twofold. First, the AI is programmed to optimize for broad commercial goals, like overall profit margin for a product, not to target specific individuals or groups. And second, there's a human compliance team that actively monitors the AI's outputs, just to make sure every single decision stays fair and, legal. Maybe the best description I've seen of Arena comes from a source that called it more than just a piece of software. They called it a command center, a place where giant corporations can play out millions of strategic war games in a virtual market to see who comes out on top in the real world.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We've talked about one platform today, but the era of decision AI is already here. So the next time you see a price change online or you find that one item you need is perfectly in stock, it's worth asking yourself, how many of my daily decisions are already being shaped by an AI I've never even seen?